My name is Tato. Your names, please?
Bill?
Bill?
Lynn.
So, Bill, Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
You guys from the United States?
Yes.
United States, Washington, D.C.
Or Washington. Mandela was born on the 18th of July in 1918 in a small village which is called Unu. Can you please try and pronounce that with me?
Ulu.
The clicking sound. He's based in the Eastern Cape. He moved there in Johannesburg in 1941, running away from an arranged marriage organized by the chief of the village from where he comes from. He met up with his first wife, Evelyn Mase, in 1944. They also got married that very same year. This house, guys, originally it was built in 1945, along with the surrounding houses here in Soweto. Soweto is an acronym for South-Western Townships. But before it was called Soweto, it used to be called Shantytown, due to the overpopulation of shacks. Now later on, when the shacks were removed and houses were built, it was then renamed Soweto, officially in 1963. Nelson Mandela, along with his first wife Evelyn, moved into this house in 1946. During their marriage, they were blessed with 4 children, 2 sons and 2 daughters. Unfortunately, Nelson Mandela and his first wife Evelyn got separated in 1956. That's when Nelson Mandela met up with his second wife, Winnie Mandela. They got married in 1958, and during their marriage, they were blessed with 2 daughters, Zenani and Zanzi. So currently, Nelson Mandela has 3 surviving daughters. The first daughter from the first marriage with the first wife, and the other 2 with Winnie from the second marriage. By the time Algeria was in war with France in 1961, Nelson Mandela went through to Algeria seeking military training. But unfortunately, he was later arrested in 1962 because he left the country without a passport as well as without the authority from the government. He was then sentenced to life imprisonment for treason in 1964, whereby he spent 27 years in jail in the Robben Island. This house, it was petrol bombed twice, and it was also shot at several times, while Winnie and her 2 daughters were still inside the house. Fearing for their lives, that's when Winnie decided to move to the Beverly Hills. Yep, the Beverly Hills.
Okay.
Can you see those hills over the side? Just above those hills, there are houses. That area is called the Beverly Hills.
Really?
Yep, and that's where Winnie is currently staying as we speak.
Oh.
Yep. So when Nelson Mandela was freed from prison on the 11th of February 1990, he only lived in this house for 11 days, then decided to join Winnie over that side. But the main reason which drove him to join Winnie over that side was because of the media. They kept following him around, asking questions, taking pictures. So by doing that, they made life very uncomfortable for him. Unfortunately, Nelson Mandela and his second wife, Winnie Mandela, got separated in 1992, which led to their divorce in 1996. Now on Mandela's 80th birthday in 1998, he got married to his third and current wife, Graça Machel. And Graça Machel is the only woman in the world, and it's also captured in the Guinness World Book of Records. She's the only woman in the world to have married 2 presidents in a row. Firstly, she got married to the president of Mozambique, Zamora Machel. Unfortunately, he passed away due to a plane crash in 1996. Then later on, in 1998, she got married to our father, Nelson Mandela. Because of their age, unfortunately, they have no children together. As currently, Nelson Mandela is 93 years. His second wife, Winnie, she is 75. And his current wife, Graça Machel, she is only 64 years. So, Nelson Mandela is 29 years older than his current wife. As for the black marks on the wall, these marks were caused by the time when this house was set on fire by the police.
Oh, wow.
Then over this side, we still have bullet holes which are still visible from the police attacks. Since this was the front view of the house, when police came attacking, they came through this direction.
Okay.
So when they drove by, they would shoot at the house.
That's awful.
Yep. As for this picture on top, this picture was taken when Winnie was released from prison after being arrested for the first time. She only spent 500 days in jail. As for this picture at the bottom, by the way, this is the garage, the family garage that I was talking about over that side. Okay. This picture was taken when she was arrested for the second time. As you can see in this picture, we have big men carrying heavy machine guns.
Yeah.
Now 12 of these men just came here to fetch one woman. Did you guys know that Mandela was a smoker? Just before he went to prison.
No, but it doesn't surprise me. There are a lot of people here smoke.
Yep. Even myself, I smoke.
Ah, terrible habit.
Shame.
So after a long day, Mandela would usually come here to relax. This garden furniture is original. It's what the family used to use back then.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I'm amazed it wasn't stolen.
Then as for the big tree, the one there in the corner that's lying down, now that's the sacred tree belonging to the family. What happens in the Mandela family? When a child is born, the umbilical cord of a child is cut and it's buried under that tree over there. And they're still even doing it today. By doing that, they believe that they're introducing the child through to the ancestors, because when we die, we go in 6 feet underground. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Then over the side, we have one of the last pictures taken of Nelson Mandela just before he went to prison. So between 1961 and 1990, there were no other pictures taken of Nelson Mandela. It was taken while he was standing just right in front of this window over here.
Awesome. So they had bars over the window then?
Yep.
And a dog.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like the dog. You do like the dog. Awesome.
Thanks for looking. Okay guys, and now the moment that you've been waiting for. Welcome inside the Mandela house. Over here it used to be the living room of the family, together with a small kitchen that side. Back then Soweto didn't have electricity, so the only way to cook and to generate heat was by using a coal stove similar to this one.
This isn't the original.
Yep, it's just a replica.
Right. Doesn't look like it's ever been used.
As for the picture behind the door, the one on top, now this is Nelson Mandela's second son, Makgato, who passed away recently now due to HIV/AIDS related disease. Now inside the shower room, we have a very beautiful portrait. Now this portrait was a gift given to Nelson Mandela from an artist called Gatite from Kenya. Basically what this portrait symbolizes is Nelson Mandela being freed from the Robben Island.
Awesome. No shower.
Nelson Mandela moved into 8115 Orlando West with his first wife,
Check out the diploma.
and son Tembekile in 1946. He was exiled from no war to freedom.
Over here, there used to be a partition dividing the living room from the kitchen. But later on, Winnie herself removed the partition and replaced it by a brick wall as high upon the roof. The reason for that was because since this was the front view of the house, when police came attacking, they came through this direction. So during police attacks, the family would move out of the 2 bedrooms and just crawl behind the wall and gather up. The wall served as a shield from police attacks. This furniture over here, this is the only original piece of furniture that we have inside the house of what the family used to use back then. As you can see in this picture, Winnie Mandela sitting on this very same table, but I'm not sure which chair she used. One of the 2 chairs. Then on top of the table we have awards awarded to Nelson and Winnie Mandela. Have you guys seen a picture of Nelson Mandela's mother?
No.
Over the side. Okay, this is Nelson Mandela's mother, Nelson Mandela. As you can see, they look alike.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, she passed away in 1968 due to a heart attack while Mandela was still in prison. Mandela asked the authorities for permission to go to his mother's funeral, but they refused. The following year, in 1969, that's when Nelson Mandela's first son, Tembekile, died in a car crash. Mandela again pleaded with the authorities, and yet again, they refused. Welcome to the master bedroom. This is where magic used to happen. Unfortunately, Mandela's original bed was burnt down by the time when this house was set on fire. Now this bed over here, this is not an original bed. This is just a replica of the beds of what the 2 daughters, Zinzi and Zinani, used in that other bedroom over that side. As you can see in this picture, the beds were positioned this very same way in the other room. As for the telephone that side, the telephone is original as it also appears there in the picture. Since Mandela is from a royal family, his family gave him this duvet cover as a present. Now this duvet cover is made out of a jackal skin. 12 jackals were used just to make this duvet cover for Nelson Mandela. Talking about animal cruelty, eh? Then inside this cabinet we have awards, certificates and doctorates awarded to both Nelson and Winnie Mandela from different colleges and universities across the world. And over the side we have a picture of Nelson Mandela together with the late Helen Suzman. She was also involved into politics. She visited Nelson Mandela in prison a lot of times. This side we have Morgan Freeman together with Winnie. Have you guys seen the movie Invictus yet?
No, we've seen pieces of it, but we know he
played a very good role as Nelson Mandela. That side is Winnie with the two daughters, Zinani and Zanzi. At the bottom is Zinani, this one over here. Besides her is her ex-husband, the Prince of Swaziland.
Oh.
So she used to be the Princess of Swaziland. As for this couch over here, this is a very special couch to us. No one is allowed to sit on this couch besides me. Joking, besides Nelson Mandela himself. And then inside this cabinet over here, the photo album on top, the picture on the top left, Nelson Mandela with his first wife, Evelyn Massey. As for the picture here on top, there behind, is the two daughters just holding the little puppy, the dog that Mandela just actually took a photo with. Then this camera belonged to the family.
I have one of those.
Really?
That's my grandfather's.
Wow.
Awesome.
Then
He could film for it anyway.
this is Winnie in her military gear. These military boots belong to Winnie.
Really?
Yep. And these two pair of boots belong to Nelson Mandela. Now these two pictures were taken in Algeria in 1961 while Mandela was seeking military training. Did you guys know that Mandela was a boxer?
No, I did not know that.
He was a boxer. Because he was still in prison, he couldn't box. So the US former boxer Sugar Ray Leonard donated this belt to Mandela.
Terrific.
This belt is an original belt, it's not a replica.
Oh, that's great.
That's awesome. We love Sugar Ray Leonard.
And over this side, inside this cabinet we have gifts donated to the family by people across the world. As for the picture inside there, it was taken during the funeral of the late Steve Biko. He was also a political leader. And then the street just outside the house, Vilakazi Street, is the most famous street in the world. I'm sure you know why. Of having two Nobel Peace Prize winners living on it.
Oh, right.
Archbishop Desmond Tutu used to live on this very same street, just on the house, just after the restaurant, the house in the corner. Then this side, do you know who this man is?
That's the clerk, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely, sir. This is our former apartheid president, F.W. de Klerk, the guy who actually negotiated for Nelson Mandela to be freed from prison. Nelson Mandela, together with F.W. de Klerk, received the Nobel Awards at the same time. Then everything inside this furniture belonged to him. As for the picture there on top, my favorite picture, Fidel Castro together with Nelson Mandela. Back then, Fidel Castro used to supply Nelson Mandela and his comrades with weapons. And personally, he would supply Nelson Mandela with some Cuban cigars. The best in the world. Unfortunately, we've come to an end of our tour. But please feel free to walk around the house, take pictures. If you have any questions, I'll be waiting for you outside.
Outstanding.